Hey everyone, welcome back to the card table where today we're doing, I think it's honestly my first deck profile of the D format. So of course today you see we brought out the Aki mat, which means only one thing. We're doing Best Girl Nation. And for Stoicheia, I played both versions. I've worked a little with Zorga, I've worked a little with Magnolia, and I can't really decide quite what I like just yet. I keep on experimenting with them. I know Flagberg was just announced, but I've never really been an Aqua Force player, so I'm just gonna kind of ignore those because it's literally another Magnolia anyways. So what I ended up working on, which has been a little pet project of mine for the last, I'd say, month, and I'm honestly kind of happy I'm seeing builds start to show up on Japanese lists and a couple people through my locals I've been inspired, is your boy Shield Fisher. So let's go ahead and dive on in. If you guys enjoy this kind of video, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, all that fun stuff. And here we go. Alright, so for the ride line, it is very much going to be Zorga. We use the right starter, because it's adorable little kitty cat. We will always use the adorable kitty cat. Zorga ride line, this boy, I need to get a foil of him or something, don't worry about it. We're basically rocking these two because we are using a total of 10 orders, which you'll see in a little bit. So, this very much lets you first turn, well, draw up to 3 cards depending on if you went first or second. I like to call it the Graceful Charity of Vanguard because you literally go ride, draw, Soul Blast, draw 2, discard 1. So you're drawing 3 and discarding 2 effectively. But you should usually be able to hit your order. And speaking of Stoicheia deck, your discard costs for your ride line do not matter at all. You'll be getting them back. And this just gets you your order back and becomes a 15k beater. Pretty good card. I've tested out the Magnolia ride line with it, but they need Magnolia to function, so not quite the best. And of course, the star of the show, our big boy, the 18k who does nothing, Shieldfisher Dragon, who has no shields on his art whatsoever. So, real quick, simple skill, can't attack if you've only normal called that turn. 18k beauty. This effect may seem kind of negative, but if you think about it, all Stoicheia does is Superior Call. So as long as you're able to activate like any order, any Superior Call unit, you're solid. Or you can just sit there on 18k and just do nothing, tank the rest of the game. It's Crossfires all over again. Of course, we're rocking 3 extra copies of him for the Persona ride, yada yada yada. But like I said, we are going to be Superior Calling a lot in this deck, so let's go ahead and go over some of those cards. First of all, our orders. We got 2 Spiritual Bodies, 2 Wild Tactics, 1 Vomit, and these girls, and these guys, and I realized I just kept on going after orders. I don't care. Orders you should be kind of familiar with. This is basically a staple in the nation. Just Soul Blast 1, grab a dude, give it +5. Not bad. You can use it turn 1, but really going to be doing stuff after your Vanguard swing unless you want to do some early game aggression, which you can do, by the way. Wild Tactics is one that's kind of there for Magnolia. It's a mill 3, grab anything you want from drop zone. This is phenomenal. First of all is Counter Blast, which goes against your soul heavy cost in this deck, so that's good right for that. Mill 3 gives you options. It does set you up for later plays. Once again, this is very much a resurrection deck. And the fact that you're not tied to what you mill like you did for Zorga, so good. Such a good card. You could honestly up one of these and lower the other one. It just really depends on ratios. And your final resurrection spell is Yield Hell Vomit, as Big gracefully dubbed. Really good card. I don't like, the only thing I don't like about this is the cost. It's a Soul Blast and a Counter Blast on grade 3. It's a little steep. You can play it later in the game, but once again, you most of the time won't be doing anything until you hit turn 3, so it's fine, don't worry about it. Just the cost kind of sucks. What doesn't suck is ability. So you pop a dude, either side of the field, and then revive something same grade. If you're on Zorga, you get a second card, whatever. Control! Control and Resurrection, so good. Honestly, I'm like, we're in a second. Like, the only thing keeping that one is just that cost. Once again, the CB1 and Soul Blast one is kind of expensive in the long run. Speaking of CB1 and CB1, that chick. She has the same cost. On plays from hand, which is why we're only running 2. And you get to revive something grade 2 or lower. Give it +5. Nice for early game aggression, nice to just continuously set your board. And like I said, it is only on place from hand, unfortunately, so you cannot cheese it. It's still good though. You still run solid 2 buff. I would not change that ratio at all. My favorite tech is that one of my favorite techs. This is one of the reasons I built this deck in the first place. Coffin Shooter. Simple effect. Soul Last 1 when he's chilling in the drop zone. Bind an order from your drop and call him. Gets used to your orders. It says, oh hey, I've used my things and I can't really do anything the rest of this turn. JK, Soul Last 1. Here he is, yo, what up, dog, what up. And he's a cool little musketeer, so we did that. Longtime viewers know that I'm obviously not on the musketeer trend for Neo Nectar. I can't wait to get the revival stuff. And spoilers for this coming out, they just announced Reverse Cecilia. And I cannot wait. That's another video. Moving on to our support orders. We got 2 Ghost Chase, one of the best blitz orders in the game right now. Bounce a card back to your hand, give your Vanguard +5, or give the units being attacked +5. Normally this is pretty good because it gets to cycle stuff back to your hand, say on place like your favorite maiden that we just showed off. Or some cards I'll show you in a little bit. But don't forget, we're sitting on an 18k Vanguard. So play one of these, you're automatically guarding for 23 shield. Great. That guard is anything short of a 28k attack. Then my support core, I almost honestly forgot what it's called. Tearful Malice. There we go. Proves how long it's been able to play this. So, real simple skill. Sack 2 of your cards to activate it. Then you countercharge 1, draw a card, and shove this back in your soul. This is great. I mean, the cost of retiring 2 kind of sucks, but once again, you're reviving everything left and right, so it doesn't matter too much. Gets you a drawback, so you don't have to worry about your draw triggers too much. And gives you a countercharge and a soul off it. Like I said, Stoicheia tends to use a lot of resources, and this is a great way to get it back. And our final order is the card that recycles orders. Counterblast 1, grab 2 orders back from your drop zone. And it goes to the bye-bye zone. That's the effect. I didn't even read the name. Overwhelmingly Unnatural Death. Zori grade 1 order. Of course, because this deck is kind of gimmicky, we do want to get Persona Rise as much as possible. To do that, we get this fantastic card from the Festival Collection. Probably one of my favorite support cards right now. Hydro Dragon, who has simple skill. On hit on rear guard, you can sack him off and grab a grade 3 from your drop zone. AKA your Persona Rise. Great on hit pressure, gives you Persona Rise continuously, and that's really all you have to say about it. Unfortunately, it does have to be a unit card, so you can't recycle the orders off it, but really good card. Glad there's a deck that could actually abuse it, because Magnolia doesn't have room for 3s, and I don't think Soraka does either. But yeah, really cool. On hit pressure, like I said. Dice Shocker represent. We only use 1. That's really all we could fit, but if you find room, you can definitely up into 2 or something. I mean, on place, get a card +5, it's kind of good. Then you bounce it back with Ghost Chase and you use it again. Or you just resurrect and use it again. You're really good at using one-offs in this deck. And it's not a one-off. It's Koni. Or Kuchi. Whatever his name is. So this thing can only be placed behind Vanguard and has no shield. However, it is a 15k booster. Ignoring anything else in this deck. Means him swinging behind your Vanguard to be swinging for a nice clean 33k. For free. Those are some numbers right there. What makes him better though, is this card. So she has 2 abilities, both of which are super useful. First of all, anything in front of her basically has resist. This is great for control decks. And the more important thing, you know how Doggo's stuck behind your Vanguard or whatever? That's a lie. She says you can cheat and like move cards around this way instead of up and back. So now Kuchi go over here, or be an attacker, or I don't know, just make insane columns off of anything, and then you play another one. Be like, here he is, and then here's grabbing any card. That's a card. There's a board right there. I don't know. It's good, and it makes the doggo good, which is the important part because now we can run doggos. And the final important piece of this deck is, of course, your defenses. Because you are an 18k base, you're very much going to be a very tanky deck. You can stall out your opponent if you want to. So what I'm doing for that, in addition to the 4 perfect cards, I mean, these are 4 perfect cards. There they are. Look at them go. Perfect cards. Use them in the perfect cards. But my other super secret saucy deck is this chick, who, plain and simple, if you've used 3 orders at any point in time, if there's like in between your drop or bind zone, wherever, she's a 10k shield. That brings you up to 20k on your defense. Which, once again, they'll have to use like at least 2 cards to guard that. So that brings you your 28 threshold or whatever. I don't know. I'm talking about anymore. Yeah, she's good. I didn't read her name. I need to start reading these card names before I do videos. Rosing Pistol Lasagna. The one maiden that still survived. And she has a pistol that is a flower that is a pistol. It's a silly joke. Finally, we got to the trigger lineup. This is pretty cut and paste, pretty normal. Except the fact that there's only 4 crests in here, not 17. Don't worry about it. I had to cut one because, you know, we run this many fronts. Of course, for the 20k shield, once again, in this deck, you tank so much. And then you run 2 draw triggers. And an over trigger. And some heal triggers. That's, trigger lineup. So altogether, that's going to be a total of 5 grade 3s, 7 grade 2s, or 8 grade 1s, and about 10 orders in your deck. So that is the little disparity of shield because of that. However, like I said, you are being defensive, like things like this, saying you're 20k shield, so it does kind of make up for the fact that you're just chilling on 18k base. So that is version 1.1 of Yield Shieldfisher. Like I said, this deck is still very much in the alpha phases. I've been toying around with it for the last good portion of a month, even more than decks I should be playing like Bruce and Hex Orb. Don't worry about it, I'll profile those later or something, I don't know. But it's a fun deck, like honestly, 18k vanilla that just tanks and lets you persona run constantly. Fun concept. Not the most consistent deck yet. I think I've got to at least a 50% win ratio with it though, so it's definitely a work in progress. But what do you guys think? Have you guys toyed with any of the non-main ride lines yet? Like I know there's also another common grade 3 that lets you double Alchemagic. I might do a list from later. And as always, feel free to leave any suggestions down below. Danny Dang, I'm waiting on you. So as always, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Use code SKYRICH to save 15% on any of your raised energy orders for that great energy drink that's actually kind of healthy. And of course my store on TCG Player. That's my profit there. Until next time, always embrace the infinite.